Welcome back to JRTV for the 12th race of the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season as we're here at the Richmond International Raceway for the Pontiac Excitement 400. I'm Joe Rikowski, alongside me Trey Bardo. Trey, we are now a third of the way into this season. The points are kind of spread out the front. Chris Jericho and Brett Sierra have gotten away for third on back. What do you expect to see in the second third of this season?
We got to expect those two to be one of the top competitors again. And then I wouldn't be to see someone else make a name for themselves here. We're coming up to a bunch of different types of racetracks, so we're going to see different stars shine. You got Fitzwater starting out front already, seeing if he can start to make his way up here and battle for the championship.
Yeah, adding on to Fitzwater starting out front. Obviously, remember the last time we were at a short track, he won the thing at Martinsville, started well there. He now starts on pole here. His teammate Mitchell Collins starts behind him in third. A great day for Penske Racing in qualifying. We'll see if they can translate that to race pace. They were outside the top 15 in practice, so we'll have to see how that race pace goes over the long haul here today at Richmond. And also the JGR cars who are in Pontiacs in the Pontiac Excitement 400, starting in second for Matheus Wells and points here. Chris Jericho starts inside the top 5 in 5th place. We'll see if he can try and keep that points to extend it over Brett Sierra, as Sierra starts in 11th place, but also on the inside. Great for him. Conrad Evans finally has a good qualifying result, 6th place for him. We'll see if he can finally get a good finishing result. He only has one top 5 on the season. Think about this point last season, he had multiple top 5s, a win. He got a second win at Pocono, which is coming up in just a few weeks last season. So for Conrad Evans, definitely needs to try and pick it up here. He's currently 9th in points, hasn't had too great of a season. And Trey, once again, the Roush cars have shown pace. DeLello starts in 4th, Stout starts in 8th, and starting in 13th and 14th, Keyshawn Richardson, Matthew Burnett, all 4 Roush cars inside the top 14 to start at Richmond.
Yeah, that's another group that you're going to expect to hopefully see up front here for this championship battle. I'm surprised not one of them's in the top 2 themselves, but if they can find what they had at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't be surprised.
And then right behind the last 2 Roush cars, Trey, this is kind of an interesting scenario. Starting in 15th, Colin Teague has fallen outside the top 35 in points in that Team Sabco car. His teammate Caden Lynn was battling up inside the top 10 in points as Teague fell outside the top 35. Well, for Team Sabco, they've made the decision to drop Colin Teague at the end of the season. Teague agreed to get dropped from the team, and now Benny Lynn, who starts in 16th, will take the ride for next season. So, Trey, they had to ride in a truck together pre-race. They start on the same road together. I think that's just how it always works out in situations like that.
Hopefully they're friends. If they're not friends and someone's holding the grudge over the other one about taking their car, it's that's not the type of truck I want to be on.
And speaking of grudges, Trey, Lathan Strickland mad at Caden Lynn after Talladega. Lynn, a lap car, blocked Strickland, who was leading, and actually punched him post-race on pit road, got a $10,000 fine. We'll see if those two are good. We're obviously at a short track, so that's where tempers could start flaring even more.
I loved that, Joe. I'm going to be honest. NASCAR might not like to hear me say it, but I loved that. Yeah, I think weekly we should rent out a boxing arena and just let the drivers go at it.
Well, we might need that here tonight because Richmond short tracks, we've seen some tempers in the past, especially last season. We'll talk about more during the race. It's a beautiful night for racing here at Richmond. 65 degrees here at the Richmond International Raceway. 5-degree wind in the 5-mile-per-hour wind, in the east direction. No chance of rain here tonight at Richmond. The track 3/4 of a mile in length, located in Richmond, Virginia. 14 degrees of banking in the corners, 8 degrees on the front stretch, and 2 degrees on the back stretch. The track opened in 1946, one of the older tracks we have on the schedule. First race here in 1981. And the last 5 winners, Kevin Bandon in 1996, Trey Rainey in 1997, then you have Jeff Bright in 1998, Griffin Lind did it in 1999, and last season Keegan Thompson swept the races here at Richmond. It's an 80-lap race here tonight, with the field window being 50 to 60 laps here for these drivers. We'll see where the cautions fall, how the crews play that strategy because of where the yellows fall, and we'll see how it all unfolds here in the Pontiac Excitement 400 at Richmond, race number 12. Let's go down trackside to fire these cars up for 80 laps of action around this 3/4 mile short track.
Drivers, start your engines!
There are the 42 cars rolling off the starting grid, being led by Zachary Fitzwater Sr. and Matheus Wells at the front. Trey, let's just talk very quickly about Laura Chung in the 23. Didn't make a few races there, had a good car at Talladega now. Good qualifying result here in 7th place for her.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing fantastic right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see her battling for the lead. Like you said, she was how many races out from not being able to make the qualifying sessions to having an amazing car at Talladega, even battling for the lead to qualifying 7th. So I'll be surprised to see what she can do here.
Well, here we go. Pace car in. Zach Fitzwater Sr. in the Harley-Davidson Miller Light car leads to the green flag over Matt as well as 80 laps of action, and we're underway from Richmond. Well, Trevor, 1 lap in, we're 3 wide through 3 and 4. Down to the bottom, Eli Bright got a great jump on the outside, got down low in front of Zidell, and at the front, the Penske boys lead lap 1 with Fitzwater and Collins out in front.
You know, it always seems like no matter what track we go to, these boys and lady always try to find a way to go 3 wide on the first lap.
Yeah, and somehow they've made it work. Most of the times they've gone 3 wide on the first lap. At the front, Fitzwater, Collins are 1 and 2. Third place is Sports Zero Chris Jericho. Laura Chung's up to 4th, and Eli Bright, who had a really good car here last season, finished 3rd, got up to 5th now from the first 2 laps. DeLello is now in 6th. Keyshawn Richardson trying to get low in the 99. Has a push from Colin Teague in the 40. Here comes Kukulon in the 30 down low. 24 is Idell, the 45 Wilson. You can see how much the inside means here at Richmond. Drivers that start down low, they're making their moves up towards the front. Idell looking 3 wide into turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost playing out like Martinsville did. I mean, the bottom is the way you want to go here. If you're stuck outside, oh, whoa.
Yeah, they're
smoking a spin.
Oh, it looks like it was probably the 7 of Mills, but...
Oh, more contact on the back.
Yeah, and around goes Walker Davis in the 19. He collects the 44 of Oscar, who failed inspection, and now...
Oh, they're still wrecking.
And last race's winner, Evan Hunter, has spun around. It was the 77 of Kennington that spun. The yellow is out for a multi-car wreck here at the Richmond International Raceway. Fitzwater leads over Collins and the 18 of Jericho. Laura Chung, Eli Bright as well. We'll have to see. Obviously, they only ran 4 green flag laps. I can't expect them to come down pit road, but you never do know what these crew chief strategy might be.
Yeah, like you said, I wouldn't expect them to come down pit road either. But I mean, the only ones I would see coming down are the ones that just got damaged with those incidences there. But everyone else seems to be staying out.
Yeah, it looks like the field will stay out, minus some drivers towards the back, like, you know, maybe the 19. The 01 looks like he was back there. The 77, the 11 has some rear damage, so that shouldn't be too bad. But obviously, the 44, the 19, they got some of the most of the 36 as well, so they'll be coming down the pit lane. So we have a lot to unpack here, Trey. First yellow flag within the first 5 laps. It was about 3 different incidents. Well, first what happened to the 7 of Jose Mills, and then what collected Walker Davis, Evan Hunter, Ronald Kennington, some other drivers towards the back of the field. Well, Trey, it was chaos. Don't look at the 4 wide up front, because that doesn't cause the accident. Jose Mills is way at the back.
They're almost 5 wide up there, too. I mean, your driver's peaking low, but right here, I mean, 7 hit the wall?
He did.
He did get it. And then
Caden Lynn runs him over in the 01.
Yeah, I mean, Caden Lynn didn't really have anywhere to go, though. He kind of hit the wall, wasn't expecting the 7 to make contact with it, and that's a quick thing there, but, I mean, 7 pancaked the wall, but doesn't really look like it has that much damage on it, so I'd be surprised if he's taken out of the race for that. But then, I mean, Joe, what, 20 seconds later, there was another incident?
Yeah, 20 seconds later, we'll have to go see what happened in that incident. It looks like it was the 19 of Walker Davis and some others that got spun around in turns 3 and 4. Well, Trey, here's the reason for the yellow. Down the backstretch, 77 Kennington, Jacob Boyd spins him, and is going to collect Walker Davis as an innocent bystander on the back straightaway, and he spins around, and unfortunately, Sumit Oskin, even more of an innocent bystander, has nowhere to go in the 44.
Yeah, you can see the 19 locking it down, just, right back up, and as you said, the 44 nowhere to go. 92 almost got into that. What an avoidance.
Bippy Rose, a great avoidance, and then right here, Kennington is on the apron, and it might be the transition. He's trying to keep it off the 1, and he locks it down and spins it around. Look at Jack Huss almost spinning, trying to avoid. Logan Williams makes contact, and Evan Hunter hits the back of the 11 hard. Nowhere for the 36 to go, and then Caden once again involved in the 01. So a lot happening at the back of the pack. We'll take a look at full speed for another view of this accident. Another view of the accident. 2177 contact into the 19 as mentioned. Right up into Oscar with nowhere to go, and it's not over, unfortunately, for some of these drivers involved. 77 spinning into the 11, the 36, and the 01. And unfortunately for Evan Hunter, one last race at Talladega, Trey. He's involved in an early accident here at Richmond. Definitely not how he wanted to back up that win at Dega.
Yeah, that's gonna put a damper on things, but hey, I mean, he still got that win, so he knows that their cars have speed. I mean, just move it on the next week, I guess, for that 36 team.
Well, speaking of speed, Zach Fitzhart Sr. in short tracks has been speedy this season. He won at Martinsville. He's led every lap so far from pole position at Richmond, and he'll lead us back to the green flag in the Pontiac Excitement 400 here at the Richmond International Raceway. Coming back to the green flag, the Penske Racing cars are 1-2 with Fitzwater and Mitchell Collins leading the way here at Richmond. Evan Hunter, unfortunately, is taking his car to the garage. Looks like his day is over. So from winning 1 week to 42nd the next week, obviously very disappointing for Evan Hunter, but they can still they still have that win at Talladega. No one can take that away from them, as cars at the back like the 44-19-7 came down pit road to repair some damage from their accidents. We'll restart lap number 10 with Zach Fitzwater Sr. out in front. His teammate Mitchell Collins in second. Points there, Chris Jericho is third. Laura Chung's up to fourth. Eli Bright's up to fifth. You have DeLello, Richardson, Teague, Wells, and Zidell rounding out the top 10. Also watch for Ryan Wilson, Sebastian Kukulan, his teammate Conrad Evans, and then teammate Spurtley Tube and the 88 of Luke Rainey. Pace car is in. Here we go. Back to the green flag. Penske Racing leads the way, and Fitzwater gets the jump over Collins and Jericho from third. Maybe spun the tires a little in the 18. Same with the 23 from fourth.
You already see, already making it 3 wide again.
Justin Zidell being very aggressive on these starts and restarts. Up at the front, Collins got a great 1 and 2 and gained right on his teammate Fitzwater to turns 3 and 4. Right on the back bumper, looking low, about half a lane lower, trying to get there on the 12.
What do you think the boss man's saying right now for two teammates battling for the lead at a short track like this?
Yeah, Bronson Manka's got to be sweating, right? I don't know if he's on one of the pit boxes or somewhere else watching the race, but he's got to be definitely a little antsy seeing those two running 1-2 close to each other. To have battle for fourth. Laura Chung getting passed by Eli Bright, who's showing his short track pace in that number 8 car. Remember, he finished second at Martinsville, almost won that race.
Yeah, I was gonna say he led quite a few laps at Martinsville, but just came up short. So that A team seems to like short tracks here, but we'll have to see if they can continue to work their way upwards. If not, but this is a little bit of a jumble of a mess right here. You got two. What is that? You got one HMS, 2 RCR, 1 Roush. You got Joe Gibbs falling back top 3 wide. You got some other guys coming up their way through too as well.
Yeah, this is chaotic. Right around 10th or so, 10th to 15th, as Kukulan's looking 3 wide on DeLello and Zidell. Pimpy Roy's had an issue. He's coming off pit run the 92, right into the mix of this. Zidell scrapes the wall though on the 24. Evans now looking inside the 31, and Rose is coming out right into the pack, and luckily no one runs him over in that number 92.
Hey, they still got to work his way around him though. I don't know if he has enough speed. Oh, that he just almost got dumped.
Ryan Wilson is getting a little agitated with Justin Zidell. I don't know if there was something, that happened earlier in the season, earlier in this race, or if that was just, unwarranted, but that could have been big for Justin Zidell if he didn't control that car.
That might have been just miscommunication from, I don't know whose spotter that would have been, the 24 or the 45. I didn't really get to see it. You're the one who screamed and scared me a little bit, but yeah, we'll have to see if anything develops. Right here, Jericho passed for second place.
Yeah, Chris Jericho moves to second by Mitchell Collins. Eli Bright also closing in that 4th position. Keyshawn Richardson's up to 5th now in the 99. Chung is still in 6th. Kukulan's up to 7th. His teammate Evans is now 8th. DeLello's 9th, and Roger Ray rounds out the top 10. Ryan Wilson will finally get around that number 24. Zidell move his way up to 11th. Zidell now down in 12th. And the battle for, well, it's not a battle for 13th because Ruse is a lap down or 2. Jordan Stout, Evans!
Oh my goodness!
And he and DeLello made contact. DeLello's still not done looking. He's going to push him into 3 again.
What a save that was.
That was an amazing save for Conrad Evans because he was definitely facing the inside wall. Meanwhile, the battle for a second is back on going. Collins trying to get back by Chris Jericho, and that brings Eli Bright into a battle for 3rd with Chris Jericho down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. Eli drives that number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet to the inside, and inverse paint scheme for Eli here, and he's going to grab that 3rd spot for Chris Jericho.
I'm liking the inverse.
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Yeah, it is. It's nothing against the red. Nothing against the red. It's just it's looking sharp underneath these Richmond lights.
I'm hearing that they want to run this inverse car at all of the night races, which we don't have many night races in the Winston Cup Series, and we might get onto that a little bit later with a certain sponsored segment.
Oh, is that right? Is that foreshadowing right there?
That could be foreshadowing, but there's not many night races in the Winston Cup Series. Just remember that for when later in the races. Now they're battle for 3rd place. Richardson and Eli Bright going at it.
With the amount of close calls we've had so far this race, I'm going to get nervous whenever I see 2 cars side by side.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous whenever I see cars near each other, let alone side by side. I mean, Evans and Zidell having to, have quick hands to control their cars, but some driver, Trey, who doesn't have to have quick hands to control his car, Fitzwater. He's been out front, and no one's touched him since he's gotten out in front.
Yeah, he's up to about a second lead that is, last time around. So we'll have to see if he's growing it or if his teammates starting to catch back up to him right now. But yeah, he's had a great car, like I said, or like you said as well. I mean, he's won at Martinsville, pretty much dominated that race. He's up to now a full second lead, so might be the guy to beat again.
Yeah, he could be. These short tracks could be, we were thinking road courses, right? It was going to be Fitzwater's mentality going into this season. Well, it looks like it might be the short tracks that Fitzwater's going to be shining at in his Winston Cup Series career, as Eli's not letting Richardson get away in that battle for third place. Richardson is not letting Mitchell Collins get away in the battle for second, and Chris Jericho's his hands full with Laura Chung in that 23 is still fighting to get back inside the top 5, and there's craziness back behind. Ryan Wilson's going for 9th place on Conrad Evans, might bring Justin Seidel up inside the top 10. Roger Ray's right there. Bibber Rose is a lap car right behind catching them because he's on a little bit fresher tires than that number 92.
Do you think Seidel remembered about, 10 laps ago with the 45?
These race car drivers never forget, and I've learned that from you. So, he could be a little bit angry with that 45, a little bit agitated, wanting to get to him.
I mean, granted, again, we don't know what the situation was, so he might not be that upset. But hey, if there's an incident between one of these two here within the next couple of laps, I think we might be able to figure out what happened.
Speaking of incidents, Chris Jericho, Smash Kukulon are right near each other on the racetrack. It was in this race last season, Trey. Chris Jericho was running second, Kukulon was running third, and Kukulon up behind Jericho spun him out early on the race, and Jericho never could recover in this race, ended up DNF'd out of the race. So do you think Jericho's looking in the mirror knowing that that's Kukulon right behind him, is maybe sweating a little bit right here? Maybe.
He might be, but oh no, another wreck.
44 maybe if I'm skip, but there's no yellow again.
So, I mean, NASCAR has been pretty stringent on their caution calls lately, so maybe it was just another single car spin and didn't hit anything, which is all right, but if we ever get the chance, we might have to go back and look to see what happened. But so far, like you were saying, he might, I mean, he probably did not forget, considering it was only a year ago, but maybe this time around it'll be a different story.
And maybe this time around Kukulon might be able to pass and clean these. He's looking to the inside. This is right where it happened, off turn 4 last season. Jericho trying to keep that 6th spot, because remember, he's in a points battle with Brett Sierra. He does have a good gap over Sierra in terms of the points, but, if Jericho DNFs out of this race and Sierra finishes well, then Sierra could be the points leader at the end of the night.
Now, I mean, there is a little bit of a train forming up behind Jericho here, and if the 30 can get to the inside, this could be a lot of spots being lost for the 18 car here, but he's still holding strong.
Yeah, he is. Jericho not let that's a train of about 5 cars behind Chris Jericho, as there's a battle for second. Mitchell Collins has it. Keyshawn Richardson wants it in the number 99, and Keyshawn's going to take it. He's up to second place now. Can he be the one to run down Fitzwater?
I mean, I said it in the pre-race. I mean, if Roush can get back to the ways they were at the beginning of the season, they could be a force to be reckoned with here. And as we're looking back, we see one Roush car stuck in this train, and they're finally getting beneath him.
Yep, Kukulon's going to fill the hole to the inside of Chris Jericho for 6th place. DeLello swings up the racetrack. Wilson going to the inside in the number 45. Here comes the 24. Zedel, the 31. Evansville's trying to get down to the inside. Zedel maybe looking 3 wide to turn 1.
I mean, this is the 3rd time we've seen him do this race so far.
It is. Zedel's been very aggressive whenever they're side-by-side in front, and Jericho's still hanging tough with Kukulon in the outside lane. Zedel gets by DeLello, now trying to get by Wilson himself, and now Jericho's going to lose that 6th spot to the 30 of Kukulon, as Eli Bright grabs 3rd for Mitchell Collins in the number 12, who slips back to 4th place.
I was going to say, I mean, if, Kukulon could have gotten around Jericho there and filled in that spot, that could actually help Jericho, who doesn't lose as many spots. I think the 97 hit the wall, maybe entering 2 there. I thought I heard a little bit of a scrape, but it looks like he lost quite a bit of time.
Yeah, he did. Riley Spurgeon took down to the inside. Here comes Jordan Stout at number 6. He's trying to get down to the inside of his teammate, Zachary DeLello. Tim Gary's had a nice recovery from his bad starting spot. He's currently up inside the top 15. As right behind him, Jordan Edwards trying to recover. He's slipped down in points as of late, trying to get just a decent points night here at Richmond. He's right behind Tim Gary for that top 15 spot. Lap car, Baby Rose on the outside almost got to the wall. As Jericho, that 18 car does not look good so far in this race train. It's shown every time cars get behind him, it's like a train just forms.
It seems like he has really good short run speed, as we saw, because he was able to work his way up to 2nd or so, but it just seems like on the long run he does not have the pace to keep up with almost really looks like anyone, because again, like you said, there's another line forming up there, and from what we've seen the 24 so far this race, he's not afraid to make a big move entering 2, so we'll have to see how long he's how patient he is behind Jericho here.
Yeah, we will have to see entering turn 1 right behind Chris Jericho. Remember, Zedel's decent in points as well, so you know, he's trying to get up there, get closer to Chris Jericho, so he definitely wants to make the pass on him and hope that Jericho falls back even more. So he's definitely going to want to make this pass quickly and hope that, you know, more cars like Wilson, Evans, and Roger Ray can fill the inside. Jericho's kind of protecting a little bit down to turn one, kind of ran a defensive line down the front straightaway.
Yeah, the only thing that would make me nervous about this Jericho situation is that if we end up going green the entire way, how hurtful is that going to be to this 18, especially if they don't have long run speed?
Exactly, right? If you have to make the pit stop under green, and then you have to go, you know, another 30 or so laps under the green flag to end the race, how much more will you lose? And if you don't want to come in early because you might fall a lap down in case a yellow comes out and you stay out a little bit longer, that could be even more detrimental. You know, losing on the overcut on pit road. So there's a lot that could go against Chris Jericho, but right now, Brett Sears not running well either in the 25. So that's helping him. Oh, Zeidel's almost spinning him!
My goodness!
Oh my gosh. Well, Trey, it's getting a little interesting between Joe Gibbs Racing and Hendrick Motorsports right now.
Yeah, I don't know if Zeidel was trying to say, hey, let me pass, I'm clearly faster than you, or if that was maybe just a misjudgment by one of the drivers there. I mean, it would have to go to the 24 who got into the back of him, but luckily that was another good save we've seen this race. Mark, that is what, number 5 or so?
Yeah, number 5, 6, 7, I don't know. There's probably even more than that, right? Smet Oskin's getting lapped in the 44. Obviously, that damage on that car from the accident early on. I think he also got spun around under this green flag run where no yellow came out. So I think Oskin have a lot more issues. Lord Chung getting by in the number 23. So the front 4 have gotten by now. The front 5. Keyshawn is cutting into the gap to Fitzwater just a little bit, but Fitzwater doing a really good job. He's led every lap so far without losing the lead.
I would still say we're about 10, 15, 20-ish laps away from green flag pit stops here, assuming we do go green. So the question's going to start to come up, Joe. The undercut, what do you do?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, because here in Richmond, a yellow could come out at any moment. There's cars always around each other. We've seen many times cars get sideways because of the car behind getting into their back bumper. So
this is going to be interesting right here with this lap car situation.
Yeah, because there's a lot of cars coming behind, right?
I mean, it just seems like the more cars are starting to pile up behind them. Evans went really wide there.
I think he may have gotten the boot from Roger Ray. Here comes
there he goes.
Inside of Jericho to turn 1. He might finally have the spot made for 7th place. He's down to the inside. He's side by side with them. Down the back stretch, though, Jericho using the outside lane to gain just a little bit more down the back, but 3 and 4, Zeidel should be able to get by that number 18.
Now this time around, there's no battling behind the pass that's being made on Jericho, so he's going to lose more than one spot this time. They're 3 wide with the lap car behind him, but Jericho might lose 2 spots. He might not lose 3 if he can fill in that gap, but the 55's charging hard.
Yeah, Roger Ray trying to get up there. He sees a car on the outside. He wants to get underneath him. Chris Jericho trying to stay beside Ryan Wilson and maybe get by the 45, but here comes Roger Ray to the inside in that 55. But he got loose on the bottom. That's going to help Jericho get down in line in 9th place.
All right, well, so there we go. But, I mean, the 55's on his charge, too, so we'll have to see if the 18's still falling off or if he's maybe gotten it figured out here. But this is starting to become an interesting situation. We've got, what is that, 2 lap cars in this whole jumble of cars?
Yeah, the 92, the 44 lap cars. 44's holding up Tim Gary, so Tim's trying to get low but can't. The 44 of Oskin right in front. Now he can try and maybe finally get low, but the 44 moves low in front of him. Tim's getting a little impatient and showing some displeasure on the 44, getting right to his back bumper. Trying to now move low on Oskin this time. Bibiro's also a lap car in the 92, but he's up to pace. And DeLello and all these drivers are starting to, you know, kind of sell their battle down. This was about 11th, 12th place that they were bound for. Jordan Stout, Conrad Evans going at it. Jordan Edwards right behind them. That's 13th, 14th, and 15th currently. Luke Rennie joined the fun in the 88, currently scored in the 17th position, trying to get up here. Matthew Burnett and Brett Sears back in 19th. So Sears not had the day either. So the front 2 in points not having great nights.
I don't think Sierra is the biggest fan of Richmond.
Yeah, at the moment, no.
But, I mean, on the bright side, if the 18 keeps falling back to him like this, it could work out in his favor.
It could, because Roger Ray's now in the back bumper going for 9th place, and Jericho's
going to dive it inside.
Look, he got on the apron there trying to make that move.
I mean, he really wanted that spot. He made it work. I mean, he didn't get loose coming off the exit, so good move on the 55 there. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know if Jericho really gave up the inside or if the 55 just kind of out-braked him into the corner. That was a weird situation, like you said, because the 55 did hit the apron.
Well, they're still side by side. Jericho's going to have to give in, or else Riley Spurgeon, Zach DeLello, and some of the others are going to get by. Meanwhile, at the front, as Jericho's going to try and get in 10th, meanwhile, Keyshawn Richardson has cut the gap down, Trey. It's under a second because of lap traffic. I think it was Walker Davis. They've been holding the 2 up just a little bit.
I would have to. Oh, maybe holding up Keyshawn as well. That was a close call between those two.
That wasn't. Luckily, Davis noticed at the last second, or else Keyshawn would have had him spun into the outside wall backwards. That cost him 3/10 on that one lap.
That was an iffy situation there, but looks like Keyshawn finally got around. Now it's Eli's turn to get around this 19, and then soon enough it'll be the 12s as well. So this is the part right before pit stops. Lap cars are going to come into play, as we're just now seeing with these leaders, and the real question is, where are you going to come out with these lap cars? Are you going to come out by yourself, or are you going to come out with a group of them, which could, I mean, in all honesty, it could decide who wins this race.
And that's the exact thing that, crew chiefs and they have engineers up on the pit box that are, focusing on that. Where are we going to come out in the racetrack? Are we going to come out in a gap by ourselves? That's where we want to come out. We're going to come out in a thick thing of lap traffic. So that's where, these crew chiefs and these teams are going to have to decide when they want to come down pit road, when's the optimal time to come down the pit lane, get the tires and the fuel on to then get out in clean air instead of coming out in a pack of cars.
That's why I never liked being a crew chief. I just like being the driver when they told me to come into pit, because that's too much guesswork on on my mind, and I don't think it'd work out very well.
Well, the window is open. So far, no one inside the top 10 is making the move onto pit road at the moment. Everyone just kind of staying cordial and keeping themselves out on the racetrack. Fitzwater with about a second gap over Keyshawn Richardson. We'll have to see, though, which of the two is the first to blink and come down the pit lane.
I'm curious if Fitzwater's going to wait till he just catches the back of these two lap cars and then hop his way in, just in case he might lose some time to Richardson if he tries the battle, especially with them being too wide right now.
You would think that would be the right call, right? Once you gain as much as you can, come down the pit lane. Once you know you're about to catch those guys, as Fitzwater enters turns 3 and 4, and here he is onto pit road with Richardson following.
Maybe, you know what, Joe? Maybe I can be a crew chief.
Maybe it can be, right? That was a pretty good call right there. But Mitchell Collins, his teammate, will stay out. And so far, a Penske driver has led every lap so far in the Pontiac Excitement Ford here at Richmond.
I was going to say, maybe they put that out to a T, but I don't think they really could have accounted for the guys behind Fitzwater to pit right there. But hey, to say both your cars has led in one race, I wouldn't be too upset about that.
Kukulan's going to come in the 30s. Idell and some of the others still staying out. As I think Jericho pitted the last lap, which was good for him because obviously that car not so good. They need to make some adjustments. There he is leaving now in the 18.
He's going to stay ahead of the 12, so that's good to see. But well, the real question is, when is the leader going to come into pit? Right now? Right now.
Zidell's going to come in as well. Luke Rainey in the next car. That would be coming down the pit lane. I've seen the 88. He's coming in now. Does anyone dare? Atkins stay out there the lap, and at the moment, looks like everyone is coming down.
All right. Well, then is Keyshawn the leader now?
Where did Fitzwater go? That is the question. Where is Fitzwater?
This might. Oh my goodness!
Did he fall a whole lap down on that?
What happened? What? Did he get into someone on pit road or have a bad? That's a long time on pit road.
That is a long time on pit road. We'll have to wait for it all to cycle out, but at the moment, it could be Keyshawn Richardson in the race in the 99. See Eli Bright a far ways back at that number 8. There's Mitchell Collins just leaving now, so Collins might surrender second place to Eli Bright now in that number 8. So it might be Richardson then Eli, but Richardson in lap traffic, he's actually 3 wide now.
3, almost contact.
Yes, this is kind of what cost Eli the win at Martinsville. Remember, it was lap traffic. He came out right in lap traffic with Tim Gary, got caught on the outside. He lost the race because of that. Now Richardson's in that position. Eli's the one to try and chase him down and get by.
The thing that's really hurting him right now is this 11's actually holding his ground on the bottom here, and it's causing Keyshawn to stay up top. This is going to ruin his tires as well. I mean, running up top is not very helpful for how long your rubbers last, so still being stuck up top with this 11, that's just allowing Eli to catch up. Look at him.
4/10 last lap. Eli caught up. Keyshawn Richardson is still on the outside of Logan Williams. Can't find a way to clear the 11. The 11's slow enough to where the straightways 99 gains advantage, but in the corners, the 11 can still keep the bottom. This might be for Richardson to get in behind him right here, but he gets the run on the outside.
I mean, the 11's got damage, so for him being able to hold up with the leader here, I'm not going to lie, Joe. I'm a little impressed.
I think Richardson should get down right here, and he will.
Look how close Eli caught up.
Yeah,
is Laura Chung in second?
Laura Chung's in third.
Third?
Yep, Laura Chung's third. Kukulan is 4th. Mitchell Collins back in 5th. Jericho's up to 6th, so his pit strategy played out. He has a large gap back to the battle for 7th. So that's a really good pit call for Chris Jericho right there. Roger and Justin Zidell are in a battle right here with Riley Spurley Tube. Is that Jose Mills that's moved up? No, Mills is a lap car in the 7. Big Brewer is now coming off pit road. Spurley Tube getting pushed aside by Mills, but back up to the front because Eli is right there. Richardson now has to pass the 11 back.
Joe, I'm looking at this top 10, and not to or scare you or anything, but I don't see Fitzwater in sight.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll scroll the leaderboard. Nowhere
Oh
inside
my,
the top 20,
oh my goodness!
and he is down in 23rd, Trey.
Wow, I am very curious to see what happened. I mean, I haven't heard anything about his pit stop, but that's heartbreaking.
That is heartbreaking for the man who dominated from pole position, and it looks like it's not going to be his night in Richmond. Conrad Evans also fell down to 30th on his pit stop, so whatever issue it was on the 31, costly there. Keegan Thompson, who won both races here last season, 29th place for Keegan. It's just not been Keegan's season at all.
But I mean, I guess we'll have to wait till the end of the race to see what happened here. But right now, Joe, you see what's in front of Keyshawn right now?
There are some lap cars. In fact, it's 3 of them.
It's 3 lap cars, and they're battling pretty hard. So, remember before pit stops, I said when you come out of pit road, you want to make sure you come out by yourself and not around a lot of lap cars.
Yep. Well.
Yeah, it's starting to get to that point where this could decide who wins this race, because I think there's another little group of lap cars even in front of this one.
Well, the good thing for
Eli's
Keyshawn,
having trouble.
Yeah, I was about to say the good thing for Keyshawn, Eli is struggling with Logan Williams right now. He can't find a way around this 11 car.
I mean, if Eli can get past this 11, right, like within the next lap or two, by the time Keyshawn catches his group of 3, I mean, Eli still has a chance, but I think Laura Chung is even catching up to Eli right now.
Yeah, Laura Chung is gaining because the 11 is so slow, but able to just hold the ground on that number 8.
There he
Eli
goes.
Might finally get down to the inside and get by that number 11. Keyshawn now in lap traffic. Jacob Boyd, Caden Lane's going to push Boyd aside in that number 21.
Looks like Lynn went high as well. Now is Keyshawn going to stay on the inside here, or is Lynn going to try to go down low?
He's trying to get down from Keyshawn, and it looks like he might accomplish, but Keyshawn got drive off, but Caden Lynn keeps in front of the 99 for now. Eli did clear Logan Williams just in time because Laura Chung was right there on that number 8 car and trying to get by the 11 now for Laura Chung and maybe make that battle for second place. Keyshawn still right behind Caden Lynn. We'll do our lunch chat right now, Trey, because Noah Clifton's not that far up the road in that number 32. So last week we asked what type of super speedway racing was the best, pack racing with plates or spread out slingshot drafting, and Trey, you easily said pack racing. You didn't even give it a second thought, and 71% agreed with you. They said pack racing with plates.
Nice. See, I knew our fans were good people.
So now, here we are at Richmond short track racing under the lights, and it's one of only a few times this season we'll do it. So Trey, in 32 races in the 2001 Winston Cup Series schedule, only 5 are under the lights. Should we increase that amount?
I like night racing. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it brings a nice atmosphere, and it almost feels classic, an iconic feeling. But I think the 5's the right amount of numbers, because I mean, you think about it. We can't have it at road courses. That's big amount of lights. We have to have our good mixture of day racing because it just brings in a lot more factors in the race. So I think 5 is the right amount.
And another thing to factor in, local tracks doing their short tracks at night on
Yes,
Saturday
true.
night. So
Exactly.
it kind of be taking stuff away from that. So I do agree that maybe less is better in this scenario.
Yeah. I'll stick with that.
Well, while we were doing that, Keyshawn got by some lap traffic, but more importantly, Laura Chung's up to second over Eli Bright.
Laura Chung is once she got back in the car and was able to make it, she's been making up for the lost time.
And she's given Bill Davis Racing something to think about this season, because they have not had a great season at all up until this point. But Laura has gotten back into that car after missing a few races and is really putting it all out there. Meanwhile, they may have made some great adjustments on this number 18, because he's up to the top 5 and gaining on 4th place Sebastian Kukulan.
Oh, he's still yeah. So we'll have to wait, because I mean, this is more of a short to medium run type of race now. I don't know if you would agree with that or not, but again, I just don't think he had the long run speed, but he might have enough in the car to make it out and hold on to this 5th place.
Yeah, well, he has, even if it starts to fall off in these final 7 laps, he has about a second back to Collins, but then he has about 3 seconds back to Jordan Edwards in 7th. So I don't think it's going to fall off that much in that short a time.
As long as he doesn't get spun.
As long as he doesn't get spun, that is right. Meanwhile, Fitzwater's still nowhere inside the top 20, and he's actually losing spots back in 24th, and it's going to be salt in the wounds because, he was laughing after Hernandez failed inspection twice, which there could be some penalties coming from that, points penalties for Hernandez failing inspection twice after qualifying. But he was laughing about Hernandez doing that while he got the pole, but now he's behind Hernandez on the racetrack.
Yeah, I was curious what happened with the Hernandez situation, but we haven't heard an official statement from NASCAR yet, so we're all still waiting on that one, aren't we now, Joe? But yeah, Fitzwater and the Hernandez rivalry is something special, I guess you could say, and might be karma getting to Fitzwater right now.
It could be, but at the front, Roush Racing is once again just putting in a stellar performance on this season with Keyshawn Richardson behind the wheel and looking to end it out in victory lane for that number 99. He has 4 laps to go at Richmond, 2 lap cars in front of him. The 77 on some fresher tires is gaining and trying to pass the 32 of Noah Clifton, but Keyshawn has over 2 seconds back to Laura Chung, about 3 seconds back to Eli Bright, and the battle for third could be tightening up between Kukulon and Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with the situation with Keyshawn in the lap cars right now. I don't really think he's really pressing that hard to get up to the... Oh, never mind, I was wrong. I was going to say, he was staying behind them for quite a bit, because I think he saw he had a big enough gap, but apparently he caught up to him and said, I wanted to get past these guys just to ensure it a little bit more.
Hey, once again by Noah Clifton right here. He's coming back to 2 to go, so he just have to press the 77 who's on a little bit fresher tires, maybe just let Ronald Kennington go and behind him as we now just have 2 laps to go in Richmond. A mile and a half left for Keyshawn Richardson to get his 2nd victory of the season. He would join his teammate Jordan Stout as the only driver with multiple victories on the season. He's coming back to the white flag at this number 99.
Now, as long as the engine doesn't expire, something breaks, lap car doesn't get in his way, it's I think we can write this up in the books, Joe.
I think we can. Last lap for Keyshawn Richardson at Richmond. He hasn't had the best of seasons compared to his teammates Stout and DeLello, but he's going to get back to victory lane for the 2nd time this season through turns 3 and 4. Keyshawn Richardson will win once again the NASCAR Winston Cup Series at Richmond. Laura Chung will keep 2nd. Eli Bright will keep 3rd. Kukulon and Jericho round out the top 5, so Chris Jericho's points lead will expand with a top 5 from him and Brett Sierra nowhere in sight.
Yeah, this is going to be almost a dramatic difference from the last couple of races with the point standing between Jericho and Sierra, where it's been shrinking. This one's gonna expand by quite a bit.
Yes, it is, but for Keyshawn Richardson, he's trying to get himself back into that championship fight. His 2nd win of his career in this number 99, and a great points night for him. And unfortunate for Zach Fitzwater Sr., the slow pit stop, and we'll actually have to see what happened with that after we go through the finish results. But let's get through that so we can go see what happened. Keyshawn Richardson with the win here in Richmond, leading after pit stops. Laura Chung tried her best at the end, but 2nd place, nothing to laugh at for ability of his racing. Eli Bright, a solid top 3 once again in his 2nd straight 3rd place finish here at Richmond. Sebastian Kukulon 4th place, and Chris Jericho top 5 will extend that points lead. Mitchell Collins from 2nd place will get 6th. Jordan Edwards 7th. Tim Gary in 8th place finish for MB2 Motorsports. Matthew Burnett 9th place for Roush Racing, so 2 Roush cars end up inside the top 10. And Roger Ray for Andy Peacher Racing completes the top 10. They have Riley Spurs with Jay Rando, Laura Chung's teammate, 12th place. Matthew as well is not really a great car, 13th for him. Ryan Wilson 14th, and Justin Zidell fades to 15th at the end. They have Jordan Stout, Nolan Lawrence, Brett Sierra gets 18th, Hernandez gets 19th, and Luke Rainey gets 20th. They have Justin Atkins 21st, Zachary DeLello 22nd. Fitzwater from pole led the most times here tonight, but gets 23rd. Benny Lynn 24th, Lathan Strickland 25th. Keegan Thompson, the winner of the last 2 Richmond races, has settled for 26th here tonight. Jack Haas, Conrad Evans, Colin Teague, and Jamie Stammer Jr. complete the top 30. Mitch Corbett and Ronald Kennington, the last 2 on the lead lap. The rest of these cars all a lap down or more. The 32 on down to the 92, and then obviously the 36 Evan Hunter, the only car out of the race. Here in Richmond, the points, obviously Chris Jericho extends that points lead over Brett Sierra as some others try and close in, but Jericho another top 5 here this season, not letting anyone get too close to him. Trey, what a race we saw here from Richmond. Obviously disappointment for Fitzwater, but elation for Keyshawn Richardson.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the Roush team needs to do. Maybe they just needed that one guy to start off what'd you say, the second, third? How far into the season are we?
We're 3rd into the season now. 2nd, 3rd of the season just started here tonight.
Yeah, so, I mean, hey, we could see the start of Roush to start to dominate again, and that's going to get them right back up into this championship race.
Yep, and we'll have to see how that goes. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll check out what happened. I think it was Smed Oscar that spun the backstretch. We'll confirm on that, and then we'll see what happened on Zach Fitzwater Sr.'s pit stop in that number 2. Join us after the break. Welcome back. We found what happened to Smed Oskin, but it kind of happens over 2 laps. Right here off turn 2, Davis gets into him, almost spins the 44 of Oskin around, but Trey, I don't think he was too happy with Oskin for whatever reason.
Yeah, this is Davis is not the fan favorite this season. The second time he might be feuding with a driver.
And right here, for 1 and 2, didn't get the job accomplished last time and did it that time.
Yeah, he got it done that time. So, Joe, you might have to have a word with your driver here because he might be tearing up your cars more than he is the other ones.
Yeah, no yellow came out. It was a simple spin for Osgood. Got it back going. And now, we'll see what happened to Fitzwater's pit stop, which cost him the race victory. So, Trey, here we are, entering pit road for Fitzy, and it's looking like it's a normal pit stop for what we can see.
Yeah, I mean, right there, put the right side down. Go over, get the left sides up. They're up, changing tires. Here comes Mathis in behind him. Puts it down, and then nothing. Joe, I'm gonna be honest with you. As the driver, I think he stalled it. He might have stalled the engine.
Because look, they're running, trying to fix that issue, and you'll see Wells hits him right there, and then Fitzwater leaves after that. It's like that bump.
It almost kick-started, yeah. So I wonder if he might have actually hit the kill switch inside the car, and you know when these cars get hot and you shut them off, they don't. Sometimes they just don't like to start again. So I think he might have stalled the car.
And that is heartbreak for Penske Racing and Jack Fitzwater Sr., who dominated for pole position. It was looking like they were going to lead nearly every lap to get victory, but in the end, Keyshawn Richardson finds a way through to win the Pontiac Excitement 400 at Richmond. What a race here in the 12th of the season. Tune in next week to JRTV for the Harris 500 at the Texas Motor Speedway for race number 13. For Trey Bardo, I'm Joe Rakowski. So long from the Richmond International Raceway. See you guys at the Texas Motor Speedway.